Welcome to the Sepang International Circuit, where the cars are already on the grid as we gear up to start the main event. Nico Rosberg will want his good fortune to continue on from yesterday's qualifying. He starts the race in P1 and has even said he's expecting to take the checkered flag first. You wouldn't want to bet against him doing just that.
He'll want to stay out of trouble over the first few laps, but he'll be determined not to let any cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down, he'll have a massive advantage and be able to control the race.
Kimi Raikkonen will be hoping that the same ERS problems that hampered him and his Ferrari throughout qualifying have been resolved ahead of today's race.
Well, the problems surfaced at the start of qualifying and meant that Kimi didn't have full power for the majority of the session. His ERS simply wasn't boosting as it's designed to. Missing that 160 brake horsepower definitely affected where he qualified on the grid.
Hi guys, my name is Tom and welcome back to round 2 of my F1 2015 career mode in the 2014 cars. Round 2 at Malaysia. I am second on the grid due to a very topsy-turvy wet qualifying session. I'm not fussed about it, it was a fantastic session. So with the wet qualifying session, we get to choose what strategy we go with. So why not go with something different? Let's start off with the prime tyre, because during practice it was dry. So I had a bit of running prime tyre and I did not like it whatsoever. I prefer the option tyre, I could push a lot harder on an option tyre. So let's see how prime option goes during this race. So again, P2 with a Mercedes on the front row. What can we do here? And hopefully we won't have a bad of a start like we did at the last race. So we're on the grid, 5 red lights, rev up to 4, now 5 lights. And away we go for the Malaysian Grand Prix in 2014. I get so much wheel spin. There goes Rosberg, there goes Hamilton. Now we're making contact with, I think that Valtteri Bottas. There goes Vettel, Massa. Now here comes Ricciardo. Now we have to outbrake them all to try and get those positions back. Going round the outside of turn 1, going to get the inside. But in the next corner, Ricciardo gets that away. Little tap from Vettel's red ball there. Now we're on to Massa for P number 4. Massa breaks up, checks up a little bit. Now we're looking to the inside. Now can we get down the inside whatsoever? We break quite early. Now we have to give Massa a little bit of a tap. Coming out the corner, we lose the back end. There goes Ricciardo. There goes Bottas. Fernando Alonso is now right behind, and it's been a terrible start for the beginning of the race. We're now down to P7 from P2. Runs a little bit slightly wider on the AstroTurf. And now we're just following Bottas to see if we can make a move in the next couple of corners. But now there's a lower flag. The green flag is out now. So we had a little bit on off there. But we go into, we're coming up to the end of the sector 2 now. And we're still behind Bottas. We're down in 7th place, like I said earlier. And Fernando Alonso is right on the tail end of us. We go a little bit wide there, swirling the tyres. Tyres are quite colder than the option tyres. It'll take a little bit more time to heat up. And now we're going through the penultimate corner, which I absolutely hate. Very tricky to get right. I have to gear down a second gear just to get it right. And now we're on the long, the back stretch where DRS will be enabled for the race. We'll change the downforce to increase for the next pit stop. But as you can see, Fernando Alonso on the inside, coming down to the hairpin. We have to go around the outside and try and hand it out. Alonso still got the inside low. No, a little bit of contact there. And now Alonso's falling back and now is being clutched by, I believe, another car. I think that is Hulkenberg, yes, in the Force India. So now Hulkenberg's now up to P8. We're still on P7 at the end of lap 1. And now we need to try and do something to try and gain those positions back. We're on a different strategy though compared to the rest of the field at the front. Everyone else is on options. We are on primes. We're going quite deep into the first stint. Now we're jumping on to near the end of lap 2. Hulkenberg is still behind us as we come into the penultimate corner, which I completely hate. If I can get right, turn on the power, hit the curb and we'll go for a spin. We're going to hit the DRS sign. And now, there goes Hulkenberg. There goes Raikkonen. And there goes Alonso. So now down to P7th. Well, for P7th, all the way down to P10 now. Now, Magnussen is right behind us. So right on the back of Fernando Alonso, who has lost 2 positions due to 1 lap. And now, look at Magnussen, our teammate, Kevin Magnussen right behind him going to lap 3. DRS is now enabled for the remainder of the race. As long as it doesn't rain, we have to go defensive now. And now we're going to keep to the inside, making sure Magnussen can't get down. And it looks like we are safe for another lap. But now we're on the right on the back of the Force India of Hulkenberg, then Raikkonen, and then Alonso. And now we need to try and be careful with the tyres. We've had a few little spins here and there. We've lost this many positions all the way down from P2. Now we're looking at Alonso. Just can't get up to speed really. Can't really make a move anywhere. Very tight, very fast and flowing. The car does not suit it whatsoever. Now we are going to jump on to the end of going on to lap 4 even. DRS is enabled, and here comes Kevin Magnussen for P10. We're going to go down the right hand side. Don't know why it's lagging. This happened on my PC. Locked up the front right. Now we're going round the outside. Can we get it back from Magnussen? We cannot. So we've lost another position now. We're down to P11, but Magnussen gets a bit swirly at the exit there. So it's not looking good so far. We're down to P11. We're out the points. 4 laps down. We need to try and do something here, something drastic, because we need to try and get in front of these guys. As much as I know, they're going to be struggling when the prime tyre goes onto them. So hopefully we have the advantage near the end of the race. Magnussen now has now passed Hulkenberg, and now we're closing on to the back of Hulkenberg, trying to get that 1 point back away for the championship. Going through the fast right hander, we seem to have a lot more speed than Hulkenberg here. We're going to dart to the right hand side, going him down the inside here. We can clip the apex, very nice. Hulkenberg run rise, and now he is going to be falling back from the pack. Now it is Magnussen, the P9, our teammate, leading the charge for the McLaren Mercedes car. We'll just have a little bit of oversteer when we're going into the left-hander, and Magnussen really getting a bit swervy there, putting on the power. But now we are going to jump to later on in the race onto lap 9 now, but behind Magnussen again, going in, crossing over sector 1, going into the right-hander, and now I think this has been my favourite part all race. It's part of the quick left and then the quick right. It's just so much better for me, especially getting the power on. Look how much power I can get on early on Magnussen, and now we're back up to P at number 9. I think that's going to be my favourite overtaking place throughout this race. And Magnussen goes wide like again what Hulkenberg did to him. So now up to P9, we're on lap 9 as well, so we've still got a good fair amount of the race to go. But we're slowly clawing back now on the lost positions that we had at the beginning of the race due to that bad start and due to those 2 spins on the opening couple of laps. We're now going to jump now to near the end of lap 10. We can see Magnussen has closed up the gap yet again and bringing the 2 friends along with him. I believe that's Hulkenberg and another car. I'm not too sure. Hulkenberg's being the play, but a little bit swervy on the exit there. And now Magnussen looking, he's got DRS, he's going to be looking to see if he can overtake into the hairpin. He fits better off, it sits behind me. And now we're going to the left hander. We understeer a little bit wide. Now Magnussen's got a good run on us. He's right behind us now. DRS is fully open for him. He looks down to the inside now. We are going to keep to the right hand side and see if we can defend. And look at Magnussen's straight line speed of DRS. He's going to close it. We're going to go back up the inside. And that is our position defended. But Magnussen's still there. We go wide, cut him across. And we manage to keep the position for another lap. So a nice little ding-dong with Magnussen. Hopefully we can have a nice little ding-dong with a few other cars coming up, especially the Ferraris. Now we jump onto lap 17 into the race. So you can just see on the minimap, people are starting to come out the pit. So the option tyres are starting to go out their phase now, and people are starting to pit. So we're in lap 9. Where can we be by the end of this lap, or by the end of the by the end of the start-finish straight? I can't even get my words out. It's been a long day at work today. But we're going across the start-finish line now. There's 2 guys in the pits there, so up to P7 now. There's another guy coming out in the pits there, up to P6. So we're now in between the Williams cars of Bottas and Massa with 5th and 7th place. There's no way we're going to close up to Bottas. We just have to run our strategy and see how far into the race we can go with these tyres. We've got a few more laps now before we have to make our pit stop to the option tyres. But as you can see, jumping on to later into lap 19, Felipe Massa starting to close up on me with our very old prime tyres. I'm looking forward to change these pair of boots for a fresh new pair of option tyres. Going down the start and back of the start finish straight, and now Massa will just breeze past us with his DRS wide open, takes the racing line, and that is that done. So the crossover point is something to do. The strategy is going to come into my own hands soon, due to going onto the option rather than a option prime. So I'm going to be starting at the end of the race with a low fuel tank. I'm going to be quite quick with a low fuel tank with option tyres. So hopefully our gamble will pay off later on in the race when the pit stops become equal, and hopefully that will be a very advantage to us. So now jump to the end of near the end on the middle of the lap 22, going through the left hander, going through sector 2 now, and we are going to get the message to pit in this lap for a new pair of option tyres. Lucky enough, we're pitting before Raikkonen gets a chance to overtake us, so we can hold him up a little bit longer, so then we're able to catch him up a little bit quicker. Going through the fast left now and going through the very fast right hand, a very tight corner, going down the second gear, just managing to get this turn in, and Raikkonen's looking very early on to try and pass us. He's now got the DRS, he's going to have the inside line, but we're just not really going to worry about taking the racing line, because we're going to take the pit entry line, braking a lot later, turning in a lot later, and here we go into the pits. We go for our first pit stop on to the option tyres now. Into the pits, down to about 13 or 49 miles per hour down his pit lane, and Raikkonen goes by us, and here comes Fernando Alonso. He goes by us, so we enter the pits for our fresh option tyres, and that is a 2.5 second stop. Really good job there by the McLaren Mercedes team. And can we get out in front of Nico Hülkenberg? We were quite close near the end when he pitted, and let's see where we will be. We're coming out of the pit lane now. Hülkenberg just appears on the mini-map, but we're already at the first corner. That is a job well done there by McLaren to be able to get in front of Nico Hülkenberg. So now we can effectively push with these tyres and see what we can get out, and see if we can catch up with those Ferraris, Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen. So we are going to be jumping to lap number 20. Oh, even 34 even. In between that, we had no action whatsoever. We're running on our own, we're just running a race, and you can just see people are starting to pit for the second pit stop now, going on to the prime tyres. So we are still on the option tyres. We can still carry on and see what we can get. A few guys in the pits, down up to P8, now up to P7. Can we get this guy coming out the pits right now, Felipe Massa? We can. So now up to P6 now onto the track, and we have the advantage of getting the option tyre. They are all running the prime tyre, so we have got an advantage here in our ballpark. Up to P6 now. Valtteri Bottas are just up ahead. Let's see if we can close in on the gap for him. So on to lap 37 now, 56. Another guy coming out the pits. It is Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull Racing. We jump in now up to P5 in the race, so not too bad. Recovering back from P11 low. It's a little bit drifting coming out in turn 1, going into turn 2 now, making sure the power is very gentle, a little bit swirly on the exit, but nothing too much to handle. Now we are going to jump to lap 39 of 56, and we are going to be boxing this lap. So you could just see Valtteri Bottas just ahead, but we are going to be pitting like Jeff the engineer just says, and we were going to see what we can do now with the option tyres. I wonder if we're able to jump the Ferraris, as we're a long way back from originally. But it should be very interesting to see where we'll come out. We're in P5. I predict we're probably going to be coming out behind Felipe Massa, so looking for P7 maybe. But I'm not too sure. This has been a while since I've recorded this, so I'm not really too sure what actually happened in this race, as we just completely go through the final corner without bothering taking the racing line, as the pit lane is slightly different. And now we enter the pits at 49 miles per hour, and we are going to take our second and final stop. So there goes P6, there goes P7. So we're in P7 at the moment. We're going to go into our box right now for another pair of option tyres, and where we will be 2.3 second stop. That is really good. See two more cars come out of the pits there, down to P8 now, that Raikkonen and a back marker. Here comes another car. Is that Alonso? It is not, it's another back marker. So we've jumped Alonso, we found to jump Raikkonen, but now with the option tyre and the fresher rubber, we are able to track them down, and all the other cars in front with the slower tyre being the prime tyre. So it's kind of good, again, kind of a good decision to see us do quite well in this, being on the low fuel and also having the better tyre for the end of the race. But I thought I'd show you this graphic here. It's a nice little ODSD that the game has had previous years, and a lot of people are saying that can't find it, but I just love how you can just see the tyres starting to warm up as you go through the next couple of corners, and you can see the engine glowing, you can see the brakes reacting, the when I press hard. I just find that really neat to see the tyres going up the temperature or cooling down, depending if it's changes to wet tyres. I just find that really cool. You can just see fronts are really getting a lot of brake wear towards that, and now all the brakes start to cool down up to a few seconds after. But I just find that really, really interesting. Just thought I'd show you a little bit something like that. Anyway, we're now going to jump to lap 44. There is Kimi Raikkonen in his red Ferrari, and now we're going to try and track him down and see if we can pass him. We're hopefully going to have DRS going into the right hander, which I always hate. And now we'll close up right behind Kimi, and we're going to get DRS. Can we get him at the end of this start-finish straight? We cannot. I try adjusting my brake balance, and then in fact I changed the prime tyres, so we have to kind of ease on the brakes because they're set to rearwards. Not really too bad considering it's a straight line, but if there's anything else it would have caused a little bit of a hassle. We're getting DRS again. We're right behind Raikkonen now. I set a purple lap now. We go down the outside, and that is an easy and done deal move on Kimi Raikkonen. That was quite a decent move around the outside, just in case he does outbrake. I could try and hug the outside line and get the inside in the next corner. But that worked quite well for me, so I was really impressed by that move. So now we're going to jump on to the end of this lap, lap 45, going to lap 46, and we get another purple lap, another fast lap of the race by only a couple of hundredths of a second, but it's still a good lap considering I had a nice little power oversteer moment. Right, Kvyat going to overtake him, and this is quite interesting. The AI is quite good at actually battling. Like you see here, Kvyat's racing me. Okay, he's a back market. He shouldn't be racing me. He shouldn't be putting his car right there. I mean, yes, you have all the blue flags. I get a warning for collision, but that had nothing to do with me. I was a faster car overtaking Kvyat. He should have lifted up the throttle completely to be able to not get contact. That was annoying. Really was annoying. Anyway, jumping on to lap 52 now. On 56, we're coming quite close to the end of the Grand Prix, and we could just see 5th and 6th place there. Felipe Massa and Daniel Ricciardo are right ahead of us, and we are going to take both of them. We have got the pace in the tyres, in the car, to be able to take both of them, and let's see where we can do that. Going in to the left hander, very tight down the second gear, right on the back of Daniel Ricciardo's Red Bull gearbox, and Massa just ahead, kind of slowing him down. Jeffrey's saying to move to Mits 2 now, as we've running Mits 3 for most of this stint, but I don't want to yet. I want to pass these two and see what we can do, and hopefully pass them quite quickly. We're going to brake. We kind of outbroke ourselves, hit Ricciardo a little bit. No major damage whatsoever, but now we get a little bit of oversteer. DRS is now enabled. We won't get him now because of that mistake, but can we get him on into the hairpin maybe? Are we braking that late? We are. We're braking so late. We're going to get Massa at once. Two moves in one corner. That is epic from the McLaren. But now we've got Massa and Ricciardo both with DRS. Massa's looking first. He goes to the right. He goes around the outside. Ricciardo looking to the left. He has to go and dart. And now we're outbraking Massa going into turn 1. And that is a move done. It's a great race and great defending work there by all three guys. And now we can start to get away and try and catch up to Valtteri Bottas in 4th place in the other Williams. Now, what can we do from here? Lap 54, 56. We've got Matt Chilton ahead in the Marussia. There is Valtteri Bottas just ahead. We're going to try and go around the outside. We can't. Chilton's blocking us. Completely blocked up. I don't get why they brake so slowly in the corner. It just puzzles me. They can make the AI great for racing, but when it comes to letting the faster car through, it's not the best at all. It's just absolutely terrible. Always have to kind of maybe fine tune my pits to be able to actually get past the back markers. But anyway, we're on lap 55 at 56. We're on the penultimate lap. Bottas is 3.5 seconds ahead. We've got very limited fuel to be able to go to Richmond 3. But why not chance it? Why not try and gain as much as we can on the straight? So we go now to Richmond 3. Can we catch up to Valtteri Bottas in less than or just over a lap? Bottas is just ahead, down halfway through the main straight. We're going to go back to the balanced brakes, going into the final corner now. And where is Bottas? Bottas is in the pits. Bottas is pitting on the final lap of the Grand Prix. That is going to cost him, and it will cost him 4th place. We are now going to take that 4th place away from him, and that is going to be a solid result if we can keep that 4th place and hopefully not run out of fuel on the final lap of the race. But coming into the final corner now, on the final lap, we go through the hairpin, and we're going to take 4th place from 2nd place. Not should have been a podium really, but I will take 4th place. I will just take 4th place. Decent points for a championship, and that was a fantastic little race.
Another win for the Brackley-based team. What a car they've got this year.
Ultimately, it's all about whoever reaches the checker flag first, and today was his day.
Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment of this Formula One season.
That's another win for Lewis Hamilton and his Mercedes team. Nico Rosberg comes home in 2nd with Vettel in 3rd. We come home in 4th place, a decent result there, considering this start from number 2 on the grid in the wet qualifying session. So that makes us quite well into the championship positions. We will jump in, we will say in 2nd place, but 5 points or 20 points behind Lewis Hamilton, but only 5 ahead of Sebastian Vettel, with further 5 with Nico Rosberg. That is part 2 of my F1 2014-15 career mode. Feel free to give it a like if you did enjoy it, and feel free to subscribe if you're new around here. My name has been Tom, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you at part 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix. Take care now.